Well, basically this is only one of the class of 2020 events that I visit, and I think not only the network is very good for us to be part of, but also the topics that are covered in all of the sessions, the conferences, but here as well, are very relevant to the work that we do. So it's here that we pick up on new ideas, we get inspired about how to do our work better. So it feels like we need to be here for sure. Well, I feel that yes, we need more acknowledgement of the topic of mental health within our staff, but basically everywhere in student housing. And it's nothing strange. It's something that recently has become more topical. So it's time that we get acquainted with this topic and that we as staff also get more comfortable with what to do in very urgent situations, but also how to make feeling at home a normal thing for the business that we practice. I'm not really sure why it has become more topical, but you see this all over society that of course students are employees of the future, and in the work environment you see it too, that people have burnout or stress complaints or things like that. So earlier today we heard that at an earlier age, so before 24, these complaints come to the fourth most. So then, yeah, it's for us to deal with that at this stage in people's lives, but it may also help make them more resilient for the future. So it's an important job to do. We are doing many different things to help alleviate these problems. For one thing, prevention is important, and prevention I think is best done by making people feel at home. And that also has to do with the facilities that you offer, having a clean and comfortable home, feeling welcome from day one. Then integration is another part of how to make sure that people don't feel lonely, don't get homesick. And we integrate people by establishing community feelings, organizing activities where people get to know each other, making that very natural for one another. And thirdly, maybe only at the last phase, when problems do arise, we have to signal them early on, make it normal to talk about them, make people feel welcome, become accessible. And then I think all of these things together will contribute to maybe alleviating the problem of mental stress for people. There's a need for training within our staff because the topic is not that knowledgeable. We're not that knowledgeable about this topic, and people don't tend to talk about it. Plus, the people that we help, or our clients, they come from all over the world. So there's also a cultural difference in how normal it is to talk about your mental well-being. So definitely, there's never enough training in this. From time to time, we do observe differences between local students or Dutch students and international students in the degree that people are open to one another. That may also have to do with the degree of feeling at home, for example. Dutch students are very direct and they tend to be quite open. Not all cultures have this immediately, but at the same time, not all cultures appreciate you getting involved in their lives equally as well. So that's always a thin line to walk, and to see which cultures, but also which individuals, you don't want to generalize, appreciate which approach, basically. You don't want to be nosy into people's lives. You want to appreciate their independence and at the same time give them the tools that they need to have this independence, to take responsibility themselves also. Well, I think at the moment student well-being as a topic is mostly focused around tackling problems. And I think in 5 years' time, it will become more of a culture to address this on a regular basis, for students also to know what to do to alleviate their own mental health problems, if any, because there's better understanding then of the causal effect between maybe food or sleeping or behavior in general as a student, and how you can adapt this to feel better about yourselves also. And I think in 5 years' time it will be easier to talk about this. So right now it's very hard. It's a topic that still people are very shy to talk about. I think that will change as well. Well, to improve mental well-being for yourself as a student, I think it's important to keep structure in your life. It's important to establish communities and make friends, And thirdly, it's important to go out and communicate with others in terms if you really need help. As a brand, Jules finds it very important to take social responsibility. So our responsibility goes beyond providing the bed and making sure everything works in the room. So that's just the philosophy of the company that we have. On a deeper level, I think if a student has mental health issues, that affects everyone. It affects their own performance, but in a sense, it may also affect, for example, the job that he does with me. So also on a practical level, I have an interest to make sure that everyone is well and to invest in that.